This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hey everybody, this is Chase from Barrel Age Flicks. Go ahead and check out our Patreon for raw, uncut footage and early access to all of our episodes. The link is in the description, and it's only $5 a month. Thanks for listening.
There's 3 rules you've got to follow.
Yeah, what kind of rules?
Keep him out of the light. He hates bright light, especially sunlight. It'll kill him. And keep him away from water. Don't get him wet. But the most important rule, the rule you can never forget, no matter how much he cries, no matter how much he begs, never feed him after midnight. You got it?
Sure, kid, whatever you say. Hey, listen, thanks, and have a Merry Christmas. It's your new pet. I just call him Gizmo.
Would you say this was called a putrid stage?
Well, you see, this is before it enters the pupal stage.
The pupal stage?
You're right, plus it multiplies with water.
Oh, Christ.
Hey, get the kid some water. I hate Christmas carolers. Screeching voice, little blue sniffers.
There's these little green guys with big teeth running around town wrecking.
Hey, kid, this is Christmas, not Halloween. Listen, gang, Rocket Ricky's getting fed up with all this Orson Welles crap, so cool it, will ya? What's that? Kenny, what's that back there? I'm a Rocket Ricky fan? Hey, you're not a Rocket Ricky fan?
Crazy! There's a real gremlin in my kid!
So if your air conditioner goes on the fritz, or your washing machine blows up, or your video recorder conks out, before you call the repairman, turn on all the lights, check all the closets and cupboards, look under all the beds, because you never can tell. There just might be a gremlin in your house.
Hey everybody, this is Barrel Age Flicks. I'm Lenny, yeah man, and this is...
Hey, this is Ron. Let's drink and talk some movies.
And...
Hey guys, this is Sammy. Let's do this.
we also have...
This is Stu. Let's drink, motherfucker.
And special guest...
Hey everybody, this is Chase. Let's get weird.
And Lenny. I'm not fucking here, folks.
All right, guys. Welcome to this episode. It is my pick. We are doing Gremlins from 1984. If you were a kid of the late 80s, early 90s, this was a staple. I'm super, super excited to break down this Christmas classic along with Ron, Stu, and Chase.
Yes.
So I think let's go ahead and get into it. All right, but before we get into the episode of this awesome movie, Ron, I'm going to kick it over to you to talk about the beer o' choice for this film.
Yeah, I went ahead and picked the beer of choice. Of course, for all these Christmas episodes, we've been doing something different. We've been just doing Christmas-themed beers. So I picked something that comes from Southern Tier, who also did the Warlock that we did for the Season of the Witch, and they've also done, everybody knows that they're one of their most popular ones is Pumpkin. But this is their Christmas beer, which I have never had before. It's called 2Xmas Spiced Double Ale, brewed with orange peels, ginger root, cardamom, cinnamon, fig paste, and cloves. So a lot of Christmas.
A lot of spices.
Yeah, so I'm just really curious how this is going to take. I've never had this before, but I know that Southern Tier makes pretty decent beers. So you guys excited?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and go for it.
All right. Cheers.
Prost.
Chase is having a technical difficulty getting
Cheers,
beer
everybody.
open.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Oh, wow.
That's good, though.
That is actually really good.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And I can tell Stu is not liking this shit at all.
Stu is going awfully red. Are you having an allergic reaction to the cloves?
Nope. I don't think it tastes good.
I don't know.
All right, well, Ron, break it down.
All right, so I could taste I could definitely taste the cinnamon. I could taste a little bit of the ginger root. It definitely has a Christmas taste to it. It's a very lighter beer though. I figured it'd be a thick beer, but it really isn't. It's not that bad. I would give it about one thumb up. It's decent. I've had better Christmas beers, but this one is, I don't know. You know what? Maybe a thumb and a half. It's actually not bad. It's really good. I really do feel like it does taste like Christmas to me for a beer. Because like I said, I'm pumpkin beers are overrated. I'm sorry. And Christmas beers.
Can I ask something wrong? With that flavor profile, does it taste almost like a Christmas type pie?
No.
I'm kind of surprised with those types of spices.
No, it reminds me more of like a warm cider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like wassailing? Is that a thing?
I think so.
Wassel?
I don't see, but the thing is, cider is a lot more sweeter. This doesn't have a sweet taste to it.
Like with a bunch of spices. And
I see what you're saying.
Cider shit.
Because wassail, I believe, actually is wine.
Yeah.
With spices.
No, this has definitely got some bitterness to it on the back end, which doesn't hit poorly. You would almost expect it to be bad with that bitter end, but with the spices, it's kind of nice. Now, I don't think I'm going to go with a full 1.5 like you did. I'm going to go with a 1.
Really?
But
would you say this is better than that pumpkin cider that you had?
Yeah, it's better than mouth fucking the cornucopia of cinnamon.
So you give this about 1 thumb?
I'm going to give it 1 thumb up, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I definitely have it again. I don't think I'm going to go finding one. But I just don't like that bitterness in a lot of beers.
Interesting.
Actually, that's the thing. I don't even taste any bitterness in this.
Yeah, but you like bitter beers because you like.
No, I do not. I hate IPAs.
I thought you liked stouts, though. I thought stouts had quite a bit of bitter.
Not really. It's more of an IPA that has a bitter taste, and I do not like IPAs.
Right,
to me, this ain't that bitter.
Well, that's good. All right, cool. Thanks, Chase, for your 1 thumb review. All right, let's kick it over here to our resident cynic. Go ahead, Stu.
Oh, Tyler's here? I didn't know
that. Nice.
No. Yeah, this to me, I'm also going to give it 1 thumb, but pointed down. This is not a good beer in any way, shape, or form.
You just don't like Christmas spices.
So I think I know where he's going.
You Grinch.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not a big fan, like I said, of that warm, cidery, spice cider, fucking shit that comes out. I don't
See,
fucking
that's
like
where
that.
I disagree because I feel
fine. You're allowed to be wrong.
No,
That's fine.
I'm not wrong. That's how I
already
feel.
done. There's the line.
I'm serious because I felt like the pumpkin cider was fucking dog shit and horrible.
Which is fine. You're allowed to, once again, be wrong. You're allowed to have that.
You liked it. You didn't like it either.
They're not going to
but
stop.
I'm just still going to keep.
Yeah, I know you motherfucker.
All right, so I think I know where you're coming from. With all the spices, it should be a beer that's thicker. It should be more full-bodied.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And they lost that. It's
possibly that may have helped some.
I think that's,
yeah, because it does. Like it just. I keep flashing to that warm cider shit, and I'm like, because it's thin and it's so spicy, everything's going on. I'm like, this is just a mix of different shit, and I don't fucking like it.
It's good, but it's a Corona that has spices.
You know what? I'm blaming the coriander.
Corona with spices.
That's
as far as a thin beer.
It's a thin, watery beer.
Yeah, well, I said it wasn't thick, so yeah, I can understand what you're saying about that now. Okay.
Maybe if it had a little bit more fullness to it, it would help absorb some of the spices.
Exactly.
And feel like more like a fucking beer.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Than this. I just, like I said, it just reminds me too much of that warm cider shit. Whatever the German fucking name is they keep throwing out.
No, which is a shame because the packaging.
Wassel's wine.
But you said something else before that. So you did. You said some motherfucking German name before Wassel, and I think you were actually on point with it for the name for the warm spice cider.
If it's German, it's Wassel, sir.
Okay, well, I didn't fucking say it first. All right, goddamn. No, this is a 1 thumb to me. I mean, it's not undrinkable. That'd be a 2 thumb. I'm still gonna finish it just because Mama didn't raise no bitch.
Yeah.
But I am definitely not going to have another one. If somebody offers it to me in the future, I will have to be deep into the bag before I'm like, yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. No.
Oh, well, all 3 of us gave us a different review of this beer, so I think I liked it the most.
That is exactly why we do this sampling.
Yeah, so that's our review for the beer. So let's go ahead and get to the movie, Sammy.
All right. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. So I'm going to just delve right in. What was your first time that you remember? Stu, you're old AF, okay? What is the first time you remember really seeing Gremlins and what stuck out? And, give us a little mini review.
Lately, we've been having a lot of these older classic movies, and I've been giving the same fucking answer. It's always been in my mind, because of how young I probably was the first time I've seen it. As far back as I can remember, I remember Gremlins.
Okay.
So I cannot give you an honest, answer to that question. It just always has been a part of my life. But one thing I did find out, your wonderful, wonderful sister Harley, while I was rewatching it, she said, "Oh, I've never seen this movie, all the way through. Never really sat through it." I'm like, "What? What? Are you fucking kidding me?" And then she still left like an hour into the movie and fucking went out. I'm like, "Bitch, I love you, but god damn it."
There are moments when I'm like, I know we're related by blood. What happened?
Yes. I don't think I've met somebody over the age of, I don't know, 30.
You married her.
That up until this moment that had never seen really seen Gremlins. It just blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, I can't claim Harley on that one because I definitely remember like seeing it like early 90s on cable, probably edited for TV, but I loved it. Like Gizmo, I mean, adorable. And even Stripe, I love Stripe.
Yes.
Because if I was a gremlin, I'd be Stripe. I love it. He's crazy and like freaking badass. But then you've got Gizmo, and they really are like the light to the dark, the yin to the yang. And I love the balance. So yeah, I can't explain Harley's nonsense there. However, I'm going to kick it over to Ron.
This is going to be the weird thing, and I'm probably going to get like shit for this, but I never saw the first one first. I saw the second one first.
What?
No, I can understand that with how young you would have been during that time frame. I can understand your first exposure probably being the newer of the films.
Yeah, and I remember because most of the movies that I've seen, that a lot of the movies that we've done that are older movies, I've seen on TV. Like I just see mostly the cut up version or on TV, and then when I've gotten older, I've gotten to see the the better version or the uncut version.
This is true. I didn't even know there were uncut films until I started being with Ron.
Yeah, so basically the whole fact is that I saw Gremlins 2, the new batch first, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. And I thought it was like, what the fuck is this? Seeing Hulk Hogan and everything else in there. So then I thought, well, I got to see the first one sometime down the road. And then I watched the first one. I was like, wow, that's a completely different movie. Like the first one's more, I guess they were going more for horror, but it's still comedy. But the second one was more just like goofy Looney Tunes comedy. So, and there's a reason why they did that. And I can hand it off to you, Sammy, on that, or if you want me to go ahead and let you know.
I want to get
let's
Chase's
get
experience.
Chase's opinion.
Yeah,
Since you
Chase's
just want to
experience.
ignore
I'll just fucking chop liver.
No, I wasn't going to do that. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
I was just going to say.
Hashtag fuck you very much.
But the first time I saw this was probably in, I'd say about the early 90s or something like that on TV or TBS or TNT or something like that. But Chase, how about you, buddy?
I have absolutely no clue where I saw this.
What the fuck?
It happens.
Because you're right. It's like one of those movies that's just like bored into your brain for no fucking reason. And so probably 94, 96, something like that.
So I will say I was probably the first one of this group to actually.
That's because you're the oldest one.
Yes, I am. Respect your elders.
Did you see it?
I will not.
Yeah. Did you see it in theaters?
I very well could have. My parents weren't the best. They very well could have taken a 2-year-old to see it.
He was in one of those weird, like, strapping, like, kangaroo pouch things, but, like, maybe it was duct tape.
No. She's not. It's not like when Sammy, I think her father took her to go see the movie Rising Sun.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Father
nice.
of the Year.
Yeah.
That's right. That's where I come from.
Yeah, I watched that movie. I was like, wow.
And I remember just a giant tit nonstop on that screen, looking through my dad's fingers like, wow, this is quality time with Dad. It's awesome. So, anyways, all right, enough jokes. Let's get into this. Let's start breaking it down. First off, it's by Joe Dante, which let's give respect there.
I love Joe Dante.
I'm actually going to round table. I want you off top of the head without thinking. What is your favorite Joe Dante film? Go, Ron.
Oh, God.
You're thinking. Go.
Explorers.
Of course. And you know what? I totally forgot that he actually did that.
Yeah, Explorers,
all
but
right,
Interspace would be my second. Yeah.
Ooh, Interspace is solid. Go ahead, Chase.
Do you even know who Joe Dante is?
I do know.
You know what? He's the young buck, but he actually watches a lot of movies.
I know who Dante is, but I'm until I've been like talking with you guys, I haven't been like into all the stats and who actually produced and everything like that, so I can't properly answer.
Well, I have to say this.
I love that you're air quoting on a podcast.
I know, but I have to say this. I know Joe Dante more than like I've seen almost every single one of his films.
Well, because
so I'm going to name.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and name his films and see if you've heard of any of them. The Howling, The Burbs, Matinee.
Steven Spielberg's
produced a lot of his films.
Well, he was a huge fan of The Howling.
Yes.
And that's that plays into the whole Gremlins thing anyway, but go ahead.
Small Soldiers.
Fucking love Small Soldiers.
Yeah, he was in.
Okay, that's going to be
Looney Tunes back in action.
That reaction, it's going to be that film.
I fucking love Small Soldiers. That was a badass
solid.
show.
I love that one.
Movie.
All right, and what about you? Oh, sorry.
I never saw it.
Piranha.
The original.
The original Piranha.
Not interested.
What?
If I'm thinking of the same movie.
Not the James Cameron directed sequel, which was like not even James Cameron film. It was horrible, but it was James Cameron. But yeah, no, Joan Dante.
And not Piranha Triple D either.
I was about to say James Cameron and Piranha Triple D. What?
No, I don't know. I've not been pleased with any monster movies post 84.
Oh, that's fair.
And also both Gremlins movies and Inner Space. You've had to have seen Inner Space. You know, little.
No, he said he literally has never seen that.
You've never even heard of it?
Said, I've never heard of it.
Shrunk Inside of a Human Body, Martin Short, Dennis Quaid?
Nope.
Oh, God.
Spicy boner!
Spicy boner! 14 minutes in, spicy boner.
Fuck, man, come on.
Tequila. Nummy, nummy, nummy.
Gotcha, bitch.
Okay. Well, first off, let you know, Piranha was actually done in 78. So you're talking about any movies, 80s on and stuff like that. Piranha done in 78. Super campy, super just.
All right, fine. I'll give it a shot.
All right,
I'll give it a shot.
It is
if you like 80s, you're gonna like it.
It is a C movie all the way. Okay.
Well, as Ron prepares his lovely tequila punishment shot.
Tequila.
I am never going to get away from this.
Go ahead, Stu. And
The Burbs. The Burbs.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna high five Stu on the air. High five, boom. Agreed. I love The Burbs. It is one of my all-time favorites. Chase, have you seen The Burbs?
Take it.
Chase.
Such a pretty face.
You know what that tequila needs? Coriander. Wash it down. Oh yeah.
Starting to get used to it now.
Oh, that means then we need to get, what was it last time? Watermelon moonshine?
No. We're sticking.
Ooh, look at that visceral reaction.
He did say tequila was worse at the time.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he did confirm that tequila was worse.
I'm just getting used to having it because I'm almost having it almost every fucking show.
Oh, no, there's something else that I'm trying to get my hands on.
Have you had straight white lightning?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I believe on The Last of the Mohicans. Wasn't that one of the mini ones?
No. I'm talking about real moonshine.
I actually got some peach shine that was given to me by a mutual friend of the three of us.
No shit.
Yeah. Because he gave up drinking because he's a dummy.
By the sound of it, it sounds like Cobra Kai.
You're going to have to give me some of that. I want to try some of that. I want to see what
and another
like.
bottle of Everclear, too.
All right. So now we're going to break down the rules of maintaining a Mogwai. So for those of us who know this film, and if you have not seen Gremlins, go out and freaking watch it right now.
Shame.
That's right. Hang your heads in shame because that is ridiculous. Especially because this is a true Christmas movie. It's not Die Hard, and it's not freaking, what were you trying to pass off? Batman Returns. But it is a legit.
Are you about to start this fight about Die Hard?
Gremlins 100%. And no, I am not.
Gremlins is an action movie that's set during
it is
Christmas
a legit
time.
Christmas movie.
It is an action movie set during Christmas time.
Die Hard is a Christmas
first
movie.
off, before we get
There's
into
barely any Christmas themes in this movie.
What are you talking about?
Compared
Literally,
to Batman
the entire score is
sorry.
Christmas movies or musics.
No, there's only like one or two songs in the whole movie. Yeah, and
the Gremlins even carol. Okay, they go caroling.
Yeah.
It is freaking Christmas.
It's still not as much to me.
He's giving he gives him the Mogwai as a Christmas present. It is Christmas through and through.
It's bottom of the list. Sorry.
Bottom of the list.
When it comes to Christmas movies.
You're ridiculous.
That's how I feel. No, I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
That being said, before blood is spilled, I actually do believe that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
So don't get my allegiance.
You literally just said this is a Christmas movie, unlike Die Hard.
Yeah.
No.
You literally just said that.
No, I thought we were about to fight.
Misspoke.
Okay.
I misspoke.
Because I was
Words
getting
are
very
hard.
defensive.
I could tell. We now know what triggers
Shit
Stu.
the fuck is.
Die Hard's not Christmas. The fuck you say? Flipping the table. Okay, now I'm all right. Not fucking around. Getting back. All right. Rule number 2 is keep them out of water. Don't let them get wet, obviously, because
So they don't like to be moist?
They do not, because then they multiply.
Moist.
And make dick versions of Gizmo.
Yep.
They do. And for some reason, always 5. Even in the new batch, it was still like 5. Mm-hmm. So for some reason. Anyways.
Because they're odd.
Haha.
That was pretty fucking bad. That was pretty fucking bad.
That was totally a dad joke on this podcast.
Math
garbage.
joke.
And then, of course, the last rule is never feed after midnight. Okay? If you do that, your Mogwai, your happy, cute Mogwai, will then become a bloodthirsty, satanic demon,
I have an argument
aka
about this.
gremlin.
I have an argument about this.
I have about 20,000
Okay,
fucking arguments about
this
this.
is the thing I can't figure out. The thing is after midnight. So after midnight, when can they start eating again?
I'm going to listen to you all, but I have the answer.
Because that didn't make sense to me unless
That
it's like,
is a level of confidence we have not heard on this podcast.
No, Chase.
Okay.
Go ahead and say it. No, I want to hear what Chase's opinion.
your answer.
Okay, so in Mandarin, Mogwai means demon, or Japanese, it is Mogui, Mogui. But yeah, it means demon. And if you want to go in the exactly, if you want to go,
That's a terrifying.
So he's just sitting around. Hold on,
That's so
running around there.
Demon.
yeah.
Unless he's gremlin, it's a diggle, 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 diggle.
And so this is actually basically midnight is, if you want to go with the demon thing, it's more of the alignment of the planet in the demonology thing.
Yeah.
Until dawn.
Which makes sense because sunlight will kill him.
Sunlight. Okay.
When sunlight becomes lethal.
I just wish they would have explained that in the movie. Because
Well, I
I
think Chase is correct. It's almost like a djinn.
I can
that's another name
believe
for demon in that
till
culture.
dawn.
Now, please, let's not get this confused with a lot of movies that call midnight witching hour.
Mm-hmm.
That is 3 a.m. Please don't get that wrong.
Exactly.
Oh
I don't
my
get
God.
that. I don't get that.
And even that still doesn't fucking work because we here in the U.S., if you're in most of the states except for the couple that don't, we have the weird ass fucking daylight savings time. All right. So artificially we're changing the fucking hours, in order to produce more fucking daylight for us. So giving an arbitrary time, and it is by the fucking clock. They showed it's by the fucking clock. It's not by the way the moon is in the fucking sky. They fucking chew the goddamn wires of the fucking thing in order to prove, trick the fucker that it's not before midnight.
Yeah,
fuck that noise.
I want to know how these little gremlins that have been alive for 6.5 hours understand technology enough to know that that's a fucking
genius.
clock.
But
gremlins.
I will give you the demon aspect. That could possibly play into that, unnatural knowledge.
Well, no, there was a thing inside the. It wasn't put into the movie, but it was actually put into the book where they were actually aliens from another planet.
Once again, we've talked about this before. I don't
know
care what books say. I don't care what screenplays say. I care about what they put in the film.
No, I can understand what you're saying. No, that's fair. That's fair.
It was like a continuation of the Twilight Zone story, and that's where they honestly got it from. Because there's a gremlin on the wing dismantling a fucking plane.
There have been gremlins, lore.
No, I get that, but
centuries.
But I'm saying just like this, it's a continuation of that mythology, if you will.
Oh man,
so realistically, the inclination of them being tech savvy, it's part of their lore.
That reminds me of that Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah,
exactly. Even then,
one of my favorite cartoons ever.
As far back as World War II, World War II or World War I, they'd have vehicle, problems, and they couldn't troubleshoot and figure out, there's a gremlin in there.
Yes.
All right.
And of course, with WW2, as Dick Miller points out, the Kaiser,
famous Dick Miller. I fucking love
Kaiser was
him.
putting them into the machines in WW2.
Kaiser. They even got little ones for your watch.
Because they had Werewoman of the SS and then Gremlins and everything else.
Chase, you know who Dick Miller is, right?
No.
Oh God.
He's the one that has the snowplow come through.
Okay, so he's the actor that plays that.
But Ron, fill us in on the Dick Miller and Dante phenomena.
Dick Miller is in every single Joe Dante film. If you've seen every Joe Dante film, he has a cameo or a smaller role or a bigger role. He's a very classic actor, but he is just in every single movie. There's even documentaries about him. I fucking love Dick Miller, but no, you
love Dick?
Fuck you. End of story. Let's go back to the movie. That was just brilliant.
Okay, there's still rules.
I love Dick Miller, you bastard.
Somebody's gonna make a soundbite of you just saying that.
You're gonna isolate.
I know what you were going for. It kind of sound like a gremlin horfing over there.
I give up.
That's the Jewish one that's not caroling in the corner.
Okay, no, I want to keep going on the rules.
Jumlins instead of gremlins.
Jumlins in space.
Why would they be? I mean, if they're not Jewish, are they Christmans? No. All right.
Maybe.
That
We
logic
don't know.
doesn't work.
Well, no, they're demons. They don't roll with that. We already established that.
Yeah.
But if they're Jewish, then they don't fucking roll with it either.
I mean, technically,
That's
a demon would be Jewish or Christian.
This is true. They're equal opportunists.
Okay, yeah. So I still want to tear into these rules, the arbitrariness of the midnight, and the fact that we talked about that they're going by the fucking clock. All right, and we were talking about a little bit off air. Sammy brought the point that maybe the midnight is to whatever time zone they were
They're
born and raised
into.
in. All right, which that doesn't work because of the fact that Gizmo was from China, brought from China by the dad.
But the moment that the replication happens and he's exposed to water, those are sentient individual
but once again,
beings.
those ones may be, but the rules, I'm sorry, I don't think work that way as far as all the other things, because it also would be they make damn sure Gizmo isn't eating after fucking midnight.
No, Gizmo chooses not to become a gremlin.
But if you go by the time zone that he is in, then the midnight for us, or the midnight, sorry, for him, would be a totally different fucking time zone.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would be. If you're going by your thought process,
no,
where they're born
I am
into.
saying that they are sentient beings separate from Gizmo. The moment replication occurs, they are no longer descended of
I understand that, but Gizmo himself, you go by whatever time zone China is, however many hours difference
It doesn't matter about time zone, dude. It doesn't matter.
Why not?
Well, let's
it's very
speak.
arbitrary.
All right, so like I said, the Mogwai are they're
Tiny
referred
demons.
to as demons.
Demons.
Their weakness is sunlight. Midnight, wherever they happen to be, is furthest away from the sun. That's when they're furthest away from the sun. After that point, they're able to turn.
There's only
Ergo, they would
day.
have to be on the timetable of where they're born.
No, because if you go the timetable where they're born, if that's what you're saying, that's what you're arguing.
That is when it's farthest away from the sun.
It's wherever they are right now.
He's saying where they are. You're saying where they're born. Because
No.
my argument is
Okay,
Gizmo,
then I
the
apologize
time frame
because
that
in
he is.
neither one do they leave where they
But
are
there's
born.
only one day in our year that midnight would be the farthest away.
I'm talking on the planet. The furthest away from the sun is midnight.
Okay, on the planet.
At any given
Well, they're not being born on fucking Mars.
No. If you're saying, on the planet at any given point, then there's the midnight that is for Virginia. All right, is much different than the midnight that's in California.
All right, so if you really want to start splitting hairs here, we're going to talk about if a Mogwai was in Norway, would he even be able to have the power to turn after midnight? Because
if these Mogwais were born in Alaska.
But the rules are too fucking arbitrary.
How about we just go by it's just the rules of the fucking movie? Because
No. You know what? We solved the problem. You don't want to have to deal with gremlins. Move to Alaska or Norway because they can't even change there.
But except for half the time you fucking can in Alaska, they can constantly fucking change.
Well, then edge your bets.
Major plot hole in the movie, I guess.
The water thing is very, very, very fucking arbitrary to me.
Yeah.
All right.
What isn't arbitrary to you, Stu?
Okay.
Yeah.
If we're talking about water and arbitrary, can we talk about the non-water cooled engine and the VW bug that somehow overheated and spewed coolant everywhere?
Yes. That was a very weirdness.
As a mechanic here, I fucking flipped my shit.
Yeah.
My girlfriend thought I had stepped on a Lego or something. I absolutely screamed.
That's funny.
That's awesome. That was the moment of pure rage for Chase.
Absolute fucking bro.
Yes.
What the hell is this?
Never mind that you have them messing up wiring and women shooting out of the freaking thing and Deagle's flying on her chair. That, by the way, my favorite scene. One, you've got them going Deagle, 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 and then she is terrified and the glue snipper line, and then you just see her get ejected.
Yes, that was amazing, but also with the speed that she was having to be traveling in order to, reach that launch velocity.
Yeah.
Then that had to have been the longest fucking stairs in fucking history.
That had to be a powerful motor.
No, I don't even care about the motor. I'm just saying because Gremlins, they could have fucking supercharged that bitch.
Well, you saw Spike. Was it Spike? Spike was his name, right?
Okay.
Spike is the main gremlin.
Yeah, he was the one messing around with the motor and everything.
Frame that how long they showed her going at high speeds up those fucking stairs. Those had to be some super fucking long stairs. I have major fucking problem with it. All right, so the water. What level of H2O? What purity are we talking
Gatorade.
about that, actually triggers the transformation?
Well, I think he said don't get them wet. So I don't think, it could be any type of
Are you breaking it
liquid.
down to like water pH at this point?
No, because they were showing different other liquids fall, being hitting them.
Saliva
and not
is
working.
not water.
So also,
It's not. It has water as part of it, but it also has
the
mucus
majority
as
of
well
it.
as other
Boy, you're
things
really
in it.
dissecting this, aren't
Yeah,
you?
it's because the rule is so fucking arbitrary.
All right,
They really are.
And I'm gonna hit you again.
Okay.
In Chinese culture, especially ancient Chinese culture, water was seen as cleansing, a lot like a lot of other cultures. And Christianity, Judeo-Christian,
You have holy water.
you have
which
holy water.
casts out demons.
Which it doesn't become holy water until it receives the blessing.
Correct.
I can
Yeah.
take fucking pool water. I can take fucking
However,
water from the
this
tap.
isn't
I can take
Christianity. This
fucking
is
beer.
ancient China, Lord,
All right.
not
Correct. You don't have to bless it in this particular sense, but I would say it falls under the same generalized definition of something pure enough to be simply referred to as water.
Yeah.
Because you can't bless soda. You can't bless...
You can. You absolutely fucking can.
But it wouldn't, according to the Judeo-Christian rules, especially in the Greater Seal of Solomon, you may not bless something that is not considered.
But they have holy wine that is blessed. Wine being the representation of Christ's
for its
blood.
symbolism
All
of
right.
that, yes.
But that's something that's not water.
That's a specified item.
But it just goes to say, to me,
I don't know. If I can have some blessed Coke, let's go.
Yes. I absolutely believe that anything.
All of a sudden, it's
that
1980s
is,
bathroom in a really dirty club.
I was about to say, which kind of Coke?
Just like we bless our food, a lot of Christians bless their food before they eat and stuff like that. Anything that has you asked God to come into through the Christian faith has become blessed. It is thereby holy, and there you go. All right, so yes, you can bless Coke. You can bless Coke if you really fucking want to.
Holy shit!
All right,
this church is gonna be lit.
So wait a minute. So now Mogways would have fucking Coke, and they would be like high off their minds, and then turning into gremlins from Coke.
Okay, that's
I bet money for Gremlins that Coke would actually be a downer. Because they're so high ADHD functioning.
Yes, I would agree with
opposite
that.
Effect.
I would agree with that 100%.
That's what they need to do in
It is
Gremlins.
very mellowing.
The new batch is just walk around and be like, and crop dust them with it.
Yes.
And then they'll be like, we're Mogwais.
This is the most fucked up.
And then
tangent
how
I've
come?
ever had.
So
you're the one that introduced Coke, Chase. I'm just saying.
So Gizmo is, we'll agree, a kind-hearted little, wonderful,
good demon.
Yes.
I
Okay.
think Gizmo was very much so yogi-centered.
I know, right?
Okay,
He's very Yoda.
Yeah.
He's our Jedi.
Yes,
He's
okay.
our Yoda.
So how come
Jedi.
everything
He was
that
very
is born
Obi-Wan.
from him
Is the spawn of Satan?
is evil? Everything born from them is also evil.
Because
Where did
technically-
Gizmo come from?
No,
I
because
think
technically
Gizmo is ancient, and
You
he
think
has-
Gizmo is
I
the
do.
first?
He has no. I wouldn't say he's the first. I would say he is definitely ancient or more than 100 years old because it seems
the fact that
he's-
his owner is freaking out about him watching TV, like you don't need to look at that. That's
Right, no.
ridiculous.
Well, you know what? I think he was trained that way because I think the old Chinese man kind of trained him.
right. It's like he
Then they could have trained
understands the
Spike.
effect. He understands the
Well, he
effect.
couldn't train the other ones because they weren't made yet.
Well, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is your argument is that Spike could have been trained to be
No.
as gentle as Gizmo.
So
no.
I disagree, and here's the thing: if we're going with the jinn or the demon kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing, or if the case we're now saying that Gizmo would be the opposite of what is bred from him, right? The gremlins or the kamikaze mogwais, because they totally are trying to turn into gremlins and everything else. One would argue then that when they're conceived in sin by violating one of the rules of maintaining a mogwai, aka being exposed to water, then that would automatically put them into evil versus good. Ergo, why they're ejected out of Gizmo.
Okay, so
And I'm just saying, if you're going with that methodology, that would make sense. It would be him being cast out demons with water.
In your theory, Gizmo was born in a natural way, whatever the Bod
I
way.
agree with Chase. I think that he is almost like an eternal. He's been around a while.
But Chase was saying 100 years old, not an eternal.
No, he said at least 100 years old.
I would, and the reason I say that is specifically because in the scene where you see him eject the others, immediately after, you see his facial expression.
He knows that
It's bad crap. It's bad.
No, he's disappointed.
That's true.
He's very disappointed.
Would you ever think if it's like a Jekyll and Hyde type of thing?
I don't know if I'd go there. I think it's very much so. He was taught by the old Chinese man that of the bad that happens every time that there's more mogwai. And so as soon as that happens,
you know
he's
what?
just so disappointed that this has occurred.
And I think that's the whole point at the end of the movie when he says you're not ready. You're not ready to hold.
But then he says
you're not ready yet.
No. To
that's what I
the dad.
meant.
No, to the dad, he goes, "You were not ready. You shouldn't have done this. You
Right.
shouldn't have bought him under the table."
And he had that specific
and it
message
was
for the
to
kid.
what is his
Do you
name?
think you think the old Chinese man beat the shit out of the fucking grandson?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, just
Absolutely fucking lit
beat
his
the
ass
fucking
up.
tar off of him.
Well, apparently the grandson just wanted fucking money, and he says that
For
we
the
need
family.
it.
Yeah, they needed it. I ain't gonna say the grandson was being a little fucking douchebag.
I do like how he didn't get a refund, though.
Yeah. I want to.
But they also the kid knew the rules.
They kept
That's the
the
thing.
mogwai too long, and they didn't and they violated the rules. At that point, it was a broken mogwai.
The funny thing is
no
that
returns.
the funny thing is that the kid knew about the rules because he told the
Yeah.
rules to the father, the inventor, and everything else. So it was just kind of strange how he did that, and he tried to sell him
No,
for money.
because the kid straight up was like, "Look, you're an adult, and if you want to buy it, cool, because we're hungry."
But he
okay?
also said his grandfather was crazy.
Well, I mean, how he's got a freaking mogwai in his Chinese like little shop in Little China or whatever it is, and he's sitting there, got this little demon in a cage. Like, I'm sorry, if you go out to the general public and go, "I have a demon in a cage in my shop, you should come by and see it." Nobody's gonna come in your fucking store.
Grandpa's crazy because
Yeah.
kid has been raised in the city here in the U.S. for his entire life, and Grandpa just believes in a bunch of
Old world stuff that doesn't
this
apply.
was in China. It was in China where it happened. So you keep saying like that raised in the U.S. and stuff like that. No, he was in China. They specifically said when he came back, hey, where'd you get him? Yeah, I got him in China. And like not Chinatown.
I thought it was Chinatown.
No, he says Chinatown.
No, he says China. He said China. He was on a
I think
trip.
we need to go to the tape because I don't think that's right.
Because I can tell you right now, AMC vehicles were not produced or sold in Asia, and an AMC Gremlin, as per part of the movie, is shown in the opening scene before he goes into the shop. It's an AMC Gremlin sitting there with a hood up and
Which would
smoking.
automatically put him in the U.S. of A, baby.
Like I said, I'm 99.9% sure because I thought Chinatown too. So I was listening specifically, and the father said, "Yeah, I got him in China on my trip."
See, that doesn't make sense because also at the new batch, it was Chinatown because that's where he was in
the store didn't move.
the new batch, right in New York City.
The store didn't move allegedly between the second and the first film.
They were the first. It was the
It
same
was supposed
place.
to be the way
It was
that
Chinatown.
he goes into it is different because he goes through like the back entranceway in the first film, and versus having like an actual like front kiosk, which it obviously does in Gremlins
Also,
2.
to my knowledge, you do not have sub-level stores ever in China.
All right, so I
Because
just
of the
looked it up.
Gremlin.
No, I just looked it up.
Yeah?
The shop is located in Chinatown.
Chinatown, which would be New York City.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to what he says.
All right, no, we're going to have to do that. That's fine, but that's what it says online, so that's why I looked
And
it
if
up.
I'm wrong, I admit it. I apologize, but I could have sworn he said China.
The whole time I thought it was Chinatown, but the other thing that brought it up to my attention was the new batch. The new batch took in Chinatown. I don't think his shop moved from China to Chinatown. I just that's what it seemed like, and I don't think he traveled all the way over to China. The inventor.
Why not? That's where he would
he
be
was trying to
traveling.
sell the bathroom buddy. Who knows? He was going wherever he could to sell that.
Yeah, and that's where he'd go
bathroom
get
buddy.
everything.
Oh, by the way,
Can we
made.
talk about this bathroom buddy?
Yeah.
Amazing.
First of all,
Unless you want like toothpaste, then it just maces you with it.
No, so it is the exact same product when we first see it to when he walks into that room saying, "Hey man, I made a bunch of fucking mogwai," and he goes, "Hey, I've made an improvement."
He put a razor on it, a big razor.
He didn't even
Shaving
put
cream.
one on there. It was on there in the first scene.
Oh well, he didn't show it to his son. Okay, he wasn't proud of it at that point.
No, it was.
Did you guys know that Hoyt, the guy's dad, Mister
His name was
Peltzer?
Rand Peltzer.
Randy Peltzer,
There it is.
played by Hoyt. I don't remember his full name. Anyway,
Can you IMDb that, Ron?
Randall Peltzer,
Randall
No,
Peltzer.
no,
what was
the
the actor's
actor.
name?
Played
Hoyt
by
Axton.
There it is.
He improvised almost every line in that movie.
He was amazing.
Wow.
I actually liked his. I liked his presence, his voice,
No, he
his
handled it
everything
really well.
And he was going to be in the sequel, but he
I would
wasn't.
have bought him more as the grandfather, though.
No, see, I didn't.
I would have bought him more. I felt he was
Older
little too old to be the dad.
Maybe,
but a little too young to be the grandfather. But I would have probably bought it more like if
Let's
he was
talk
the grandfather.
about the fact that he's an inventor and he's been so caught up in all of these inventions. Do you really think
Such
he
a
had time to get
shitty
laid?
fucking inventor. Such a
Do you know
shitty
why?
fucking inventor.
Do you know why? Because when he's at conventions, he saw Steven Spielberg drive by on that car thing, and he just got distracted.
And about the robot. What was the robot?
The robot cracked me up.
What fucking movie is that from?
I think it's supposed to be like a spinoff of any generic
No.
That's
It's
from a movie.
Then it wasn't a movie. It was a TV show, Lost in Space.
There it is.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yeah.
it was a TV show. But yeah, I was like,
Wasn't that the Danger Will Robinson
Yeah.
robot?
Danger.
Yeah.
Will
Okay.
Robinson.
All right. Sadly, my intro to that film line was actually the remake.
Which I can understand. I mean, it's
I-
a very old show. Even in the 80s, it was an old show.
I laughed
All right.
so fucking hard when I saw the little robot that we were talking about sitting at the phone booth behind him wearing a cowboy hat talking on the phone.
Yes, that was awesome.
Wasn't that the
Danger Will Robinson.
No, I think it was also before that. I think it was
No, it's
also
Lost in Space.
It was Lost in Space.
Yeah, it was from Lost in Space.
Because I was thinking of the
I
other,
lost it.
the day the Earth stood, not the day the Earth stood still.
No. That's
the Forbidden Planet.
No, oh yeah, no, he was. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
what I thought,
Yeah.
Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, when Forbidden Planet, then they reused that robot for Lost in Space.
Yeah.
But that's where the robot really got known was Lost in Space. The Danger Will Robinson.
Yes.
Thing. That's where he got known.
So since we've kind of started to talk about moldy oldies with that, let's talk about Judge Reinhold in this film. Every single time, I forget he's in it.
Yes, same here. I get so fucking excited when I saw the credits.
He's
like,
on the
Judge
radio.
Reinhold.
I'm just thinking of Fast Times at
No,
Ridgemont
what
High.
was so funny about you, Ron, actually, is as we were rewatching it, and then he goes, "Man, I need to watch Santa Claus," because again, it's one of those random, like, you completely forget about freaking Judge Reinhold.
There's only a few movies that I immediately think of when I think of Judge Reinhold,
Well,
or,
I think
or
we
when I
can-
think of the movie, I think immediately of Judge Reinhold.
Beverly Hills Cops,
Yeah, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, of course.
Obviously.
But
which we doubled down with Gremlins because
Yes.
you also had what's her name?
Phoebe Cates.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have never seen that.
What?
Oh, snap!
We are old.
You've never seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
I have never seen
Sean
that.
Penn? Seriously?
Spicoli.
I'm so wasted. Really?
You're gonna love Spicoli. Just watch it.
Chase,
you have homework, Chase.
Chase,
Go home and watch it.
I'm gonna have to give you a whole fucking list of movies.
One of the
to watch.
great
Hook it up.
early
Hook it up.
masturbation scenes.
What the
in
fuck?
modern time. Oh, what's that?
Phoebe Cates'
Yes.
famous tit scene.
Yeah,
coming out of the pool.
I know.
Okay, I'm
so many
interested.
dudes busted the load to
The
that fucking
silence
chick.
is just me looking around horrified at the moment.
And I bet you there were some
I'm
chicks
like,
that creamed their
"Yay,
fucking panties.
We're
too.
doing Gremlins, and they're like masturbation. I'm like, oh god, that went that way right really quick.
Hey, this movie was a fucking dark goddamn movie.
We will
okay,
get to that. We will. But right now, we were talking about Judge Reinhold.
I also don't know who that is.
Judge
Oh,
Reinhold
he
was
was the
the
asshat.
bank assistant manager.
That's like,
the
at
one-
27, I'll have so and so's
Oh, that
job.
asshat.
Yes.
Yes.
Chase, I'm so glad you're in this show.
However, when you watch Fast, you're gonna see how amazing he is with a craft of coffee.
Yes.
It's awesome.
So, but like I said, Judge Reinhold is one of those guys that I know him. I immediately think of him only for a couple movies, but every time I see him in other movies,
It makes you happy.
Yes, I get so excited. I'm like, I totally forgot he existed
I
in
know.
this film. This
I
is
know.
amazing.
You
I'm
know what?
so happy.
He was the precursor to Steve Guttenberg to me. Like Steve Guttenberg was another one of those actors. I feel, especially in like the early '90s, I felt like he was in a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and then he just disappeared. He was gone. But then you would see like one of the ones. My father was a huge Tom Selleck fan, so 3 Men and a Baby.
Yes.
And then of course 3 Men and a Little Lady.
But
and
I
then
don't
he
think
had High
Gutenberg was
Spirits.
ever a regular supporting actor. But he was always
Maybe it was just in our house because I felt like we saw literally everything he was in.
Yeah, but most of the time he was in a starring role, not in a supporting role. Judge Reinhold did a lot of fucking supporting roles.
All right, that's fair.
All right, and so anytime I fucking see him and I forgot that he was in the movie, I get so happy because I love him. He just, but at the second I'm done seeing the movie, I forget he was in it.
He plays a good dick.
Yes, he does.
He does. He does
was
do
the
a good
number
job
one
at that.
top of the line ass hat in this film.
Can I do a call out to an
Of course, Ron,
actor in
go
this
ahead.
movie? Fucking Frances Lee McCain, who played Lynn Peltzer, the mother.
Dude, she was so badass. I love her. She is my hero.
She kills like 3 gremlins in like
She
the first
is
time
so
meeting him.
hardcore.
Fucking goes like
Dude.
fucking Michael Myers on one, just
I
stabs
love
the
it.
fucking
No,
guy.
F that.
What would
She
you do?
freaking walks in.
No,
she's like,
but
oh,
she
what's
does
in the
such a good
blender?
job, and then she just throws one in the fucking microwave. You see the thing fucking explode.
It was
I fucking love
Which,
that.
by the way, this movie, I have to bring this up. This
Yes.
movie is one of the movies next to Temple of Doom and Red Dawn that brought up the PG-13 rating.
Thank you,
because of how
Gremlins, for
violent it
being
was.
a groundbreaking. Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
rated PG.
There was
This
no PG-13.
Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, Gremlins, and Red Dawn were the first 3 movies that basically said we need to make. Steven Spielberg
middle
came up with the
ground.
idea, a middle ground where we make the PG-13 rating, not make an R, because this would be considered a PG-13 right now.
Yeah, no, I had no
Well,
idea
it would have
about
gone R.
If you see a lot of PG rated from the early 80s, you could tell like, wow, there's some really racy
Well, I
content
mean,
in that.
even if you look at like Goonies, like all of that, if it was to be rebranded now, it would not be PG.
Goonies would be PG-13.
Okay, so these are some of the movies that were rated PG. All right, and so you had 16 Candles.
Oh my gosh, I love that
was
movie.
a PG movie.
It had
So
Bush
good.
and it had tits.
It had everything.
Jaws.
If you can't tell,
PG
I have
movie.
no idea what
Yep.
that first one is.
Remember?
You've never.
Chase
okay,
doesn't
you know
like
who
Jaws,
John,
remember?
No.
But may not like
what?
it.
Yeah.
But Jaws was a PG movie.
I did enjoy it when I was 5.
Poltergeist was a PG movie.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm starting to see what you mean.
Yeah. No.
Who
like,
Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, I fucking love that
But that,
movie.
Yeah,
how,
PG.
how fucked up and twisted that movie was.
absolutely.
PG. All right. Ghostbusters, which had a lot of fucking adult, themes in it.
Sexual situations,
Obviously.
yeah.
All right. Never Ending Story, which, we may think it's a kid's movie, but if you think about it, that was some fucked up shit that happened in
dude,
that
the
goddamn
thing with
movie.
the sphinxes and even the way the sphinxes look,
Yes.
they're like stacked.
No, how about
dying.
the fucking horse dying? That was just too
know.
fucking hard to watch.
Grease, PG movie.
Love Grease, super not a. Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
see, that's the thing.
Arthur, which Dudley Moore playing the fucking alcohol. Was it Dudley Moore who played the alcohol?
It was Dudley Moore, yeah.
Who
Well, the
played
remake was
raging
with,
alcoholic.
but the remake was done with Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Don't know who Arthur is. Or,
Okay.
Did you see the remake with Russell Brand?
No.
The classic Airplane.
Airplane
Leslie.
Airplane had a fucking tit
Leslie,
scene.
PG movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see a woman's tits just come out in the middle of the screen and then go right to the sides. And that was PG rated. Oh no, 1941.
Yeah.
There was a scene with the whole submarine, or it followed the whole
All of
Jaws
that
theme.
to say, obviously, in the 80s, we got away with a lot more shit under PG label than they did.
Return to Oz. Did you
Oh,
guys-
I love that. The Wheelers?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the
How
queen,
that
and
was
the
super
queen that
dark movie.
changes her head.
It's a sequel to
Have you seen it?
Wizard of Oz.
Oh my gosh, so good.
So that's the whole thing
good.
is that Steven Spielberg came up with the idea that they needed to come up with a middle ground, basically, to the point where, that's something that's right in the middle. So that's how the PG-13 rating came out.
And
And
the
PG-13 movies
was born.
And when movies come out now and they're R-rated, it gets less of an audience and less money. So that's why
You
a
know
lot of
what's-
studios try and always milk a movie down to a PG-13 rating so they can make more money because would make more money. So
Hence Fox and Marvel trying to get rid of, not do Deadpool. But
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They said it's going to come out.
Oh, yeah,
But
no,
what's
I'm
also
excited.
so funny is now, if you think about PG-13 and how much shit they can now put into it,
Yes.
that it's like, wow, it's
Yeah.
insane. It's like a light R.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For back a lot of the stuff that would be PG-13 now would
Actually,
probably
I
been
think
R
it's
back
I
then.
think it's now
Yeah.
actually gotten rebranded as, isn't it like TV 14 or something
If it's
now?
on TV.
So yeah.
No, but I'm saying that would be the current equivalent.
Yeah,
No,
made for-
to me the equivalent is still PG-13
so the,
because
the FCC does have totally different guidelines for that.
yeah.
So yeah, anyways, but I actually real quick, because we have our resident score whore here and his boy did the themes and the score for Gremlins. So I'm going to kick it over to Rom and go ahead and break it down for us.
Jerry Goldsmith did the score for this, and I fucking love Jerry Goldsmith. Jerry Goldsmith had a very big partnership with Joe Dante, and Joe Dante and Jerry Goldsmith have done a lot of movies together. Basically all of them, almost all of them have been Jerry Goldsmith and before he passed away. But he just comes up with great scores using synthesizers and everything else, and they're always just iconic. And the Gremlins theme is just very playful. Just the whole reason of this theme is just basically just maniac creatures just destroying a town and everything else, and it works perfectly. So that's basically what I gotta say. Jerry Goldsmith is my fucking favorite, one of my favorite composers. I love his scores. He's in most of the movies that I do actually. So, but yeah, there you go.
No, I agree completely that I don't think this movie would have been nearly as iconic without the exact fucking score. Of the
Oh,
video.
yeah.
Exactly.
Even breaking down to, let's go ahead and play the clip of Gizmo doing the singing.
It's a pretty theme.
That little chubby fuck could sing.
I love him so much. He makes my heart so happy, even though he's a little demon.
Quick,
That's
can
the thing.
you name the voice for Gizmo? Howie Mandel.
What?
Yeah, Howie Mandel.
Little Monsters, Howie Mandel?
Yeah.
Have you seen Little Monsters?
Yes, OCD
At
uses
some
5 bars
point,
of
yes.
soap. Howie Mandel.
But yeah, no, that's Howie Mandel. He voiced Gizmo.
But good question for you. Have you seen Little Monsters?
Yeah. Punishment shot.
Trying to reach for the thing.
So I'm going to...
I was trying to reach for your drink for you.
You know what? I don't
was
care.
trying to be kind and considerate.
Well, I appreciate it, although you might have killed me by getting beer all over it.
Are we doing a vote?
Yes.
If he calls for it, you have to vote.
You call the vote.
3-1.
I call a vote. This is a punishment shot.
Punishment.
No.
Man, we're split.
No. If it's not a majority,
It's not a majority.
Then the punishment shot goes to the caller.
Ooh.
Did you vote against me?
Yes.
Yeah, because really, we don't do punishment shots for spilling a drink.
No,
I mean,
and like I said, honestly, I couldn't see the beer.
You don't
at
do
all.
a punishment shot for a party foul like that?
no. We do a punishment shot if you make unless we make that a new rule. But we've never done a punishment shot for that. But I'm not going to call a punishment shot for that. Sorry.
Did we clean it up? That's all I'm worried about.
So that means Chase has to take a punishment shot.
All right, yeah, pour it up.
Those are the rules.
Well, congratulations, BAF listeners. We have a virgin amongst us, as this will be Chase's first punishment shot.
I made it an almost a 3-hour episode without fucking this up.
But the rules are the
Way to
rules.
trip on the finish line.
Oh, God.
Enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh.
Yeah. See, I'm used to it now.
Oh, fuck you guys.
Yeah, that's the shit tequila that Stu brought in. I almost said it. I almost fucking said it.
You want another round of Juarez?
I'm trying to stay.
Juarez
I'm trying to go one episode without one, and I haven't had one yet. It's driving me fucking up the wall.
Oh, God damn it.
All right, so on that note, as Chase recovers, let's talk about a badass in this film, the mom.
Yes.
Dude, she is my freaking hero. She freaking sits there and she's like, not in my house, bitches. Blends one, pops one open in the microwave, and then straight up just reeks. It was amazing. I even love that she freaking has like the TV dinner tray is like a freaking shield. She Xena the shit out of those gremlins.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it was fantastic. But then later, like you see, I can't for the life of me think of the son's name. What was
Billy.
his name? Billy is like
Billy.
He's got this huge like knight sword, and he's like very sadly like trying to
Chase,
slice
you all right?
missing him.
No, I'm not fucking all right.
I think this is the worst reaction we've seen from a punishment shot.
Ooh, he actually shed a tear.
Oh, I love it.
That's okay, because
Try
you
not
know
to get
what?
another one. I've had like 3 or 4 of those in one episode before. It sucks.
Fuck all that. Oh, God.
I'm still not looking forward to my Halloween episode next
Follow
year.
the rules.
Yeah, you remember that bet?
Much like Mogwais.
Yes.
That's right.
That's why I
Gotta
tossed
follow
that
the rules.
softball to you.
I did. Did you like that?
Yeah.
Out of the park.
There you go.
No, I almost died from tequila once, and this is just stuck with me.
Yes. Yes. That
Is it
reaction
sad that a
was
part
the
of me is
reaction
like,
I was
that
hoping
would
to
be
get from Ron
glorious?
when I brought him the Juarez.
Oh, you have to
Like I
keep
said,
in mind that
I've
he
been
thinks that
getting used to
Patron
it
is
now.
swill. He thinks Patron is swill.
Yeah, it's tequila, so it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, we've got another one.
Unless it's in a margarita. Yes.
I am trying to get my hands on something.
Even worse.
Yes, that I think everybody will find worse.
To be continued.
Anyways, enough booze talk. Let's get back to the movie. However, in the original version, this was a fucking dark movie. It really was. The mom, who was a badass, actually, she was supposed to get decapitated by the gremlins.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
they also were going to directly eat somebody, like rip apart and eat another character.
No, another thing was that Gizmo was actually supposed to be
The dog. They were going to eat the dog.
Yeah, but there was
Yes.
another thing that
Oh,
they
you don't fuck with
actually
the dog.
there was
Yep.
another thing that they did filming
They were gonna
throughout the
jaws that
movie,
dog.
and you can see it because Gizmo isn't throughout the middle of the movie. Is that Gizmo was actually supposed to be Spike?
He was going to be evolved. He was going to devolve into Spike.
He was originally going to be Spike, but then they kind of went off that because everybody liked Gizmo so much.
That
so they kept Gizmo in.
would have fit with my problem with how come he was such a sweet guy and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then,
but that was the problem.
All the
that was the
spawn
problem.
from him was an asshole.
But that was the problem. It was that they made him and the puppet too bleeping cute that they're like, we can't do that to Gizmo.
He was the 80s version of Baby.
Hey, but I like the other
much,
Gizmos.
Yeah, no, but they weren't other Gizmos. They were other Mogwais.
Whatever. The same.
No, not the same thing.
No, that's like
One is
saying
literally
all your
named
kids
Stripe.
are Rons. No, they're not.
Well, Gizmo was just the name that the inventor gave it to him.
You don't know that. That
Mr.
could have been
Peltz
no. That could have been what Gizmo told the old Chinese man. Goes, my name is Gizmo.
Okay.
No, because we see in the living room when he brings him.
Yeah, he's like, I just call him Gizmo. He seems like it.
You're right. You're right. Okay.
That's what I was talking about. He gave him the name Gizmo.
I
that's like you gave the name to your dog. All right, doesn't mean he's no longer a dog.
Yeah,
he is a dog whose name is Jones.
But it's funny because again, like the fact that he calls him Gizmo and it turns out that actually means demon is actually really kind of funny. It's a cool.
No, he's at Mogwai.
Mogwai,
means which is their species.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you were saying Gizmo means demon. I didn't.
No.
You said what?
No.
I figured he called him Gizmo because he's an inventor in Gizmo.
That's why he did.
Yeah,
Gizmo.
Absolutely did.
That's okay. I fucked up.
Sammy was wrong. Surprise, surprise.
All right. Anyways, moving on. So, anyways, no, the original Christopher Columbus script was actually super duper dark, which, you know what? Let's address the suicidal elephant in the room and let's break down Phoebe Cates' Debbie Downer, holy crap, character and speech in this film.
Just out of fucking nowhere.
Out of nowhere. So misplaced.
And
yes.
Why did this man recover so quickly from that?
I know, like he's like, no, it was my father. He was dead in our chimney for 5 days.
Oh, okay, cool. You want to go out sometime?
Yeah, right?
Man, you're hot.
The worst thing that ever happened to me was on Christmas. Oh, God. It was so horrible. It was Christmas Eve. I was 9 years old. Me and Mom were decorating the tree.
I like the insert the lightning sound.
Right.
There he goes again.
A couple hours went by. Dad wasn't home. Mom called the office. No answer.
I completely forgot there was Christmas music in the background.
And still nothing. So the police began a search.
I have seen some really messed up Christmas horror movies, and this is darker than half that crap.
Eat or sleep. Everything was falling apart. It was snowing outside.
The weird fucking baby noises
the house was
from
Gizmo
in the background.
Because he's going, this is awkward AF.
And that's
in Mogwinese or however he speaks.
Firemen came and broke through the chimney top. And me and Mom were expecting them to pull out a dead cat or a bird. And instead they
Why did they put this in this movie?
I don't know, dude. Instead, it was my father.
Like, fuck this bitch.
Or that, or he's about to go to bed.
He'd been climbing down the chimney on Christmas Eve, his arms loaded with presents.
How big is this chimney?
Yeah,
Well, no, older houses had bigger
They are
chimneys.
not that big.
No, they did used to have pretty big chimneys.
Really?
Yeah, they had chimney sweepers.
But the fact that they said they had to break the top, so that implies that it already had a smaller opening up top. So did he just go into the base?
So, yes, that's super fun for this holiday class.
Out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
It did nothing to propel the story.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about the thing is that in the new...
Because she was Debbie Downer from the get-go. Especially when she's like, yeah, I know, Christmas sucks, and the suicide rates are like 14 million times higher. And you're sitting there like, she's a charmer.
She literally could have just said, yeah, I really don't like Christmas. I lost my father to an accident, you know.
Nope, none of that.
Nope.
We go into the grisly details in this film.
And it's dark. I mean, hearing about like a fucking dead body just rotting inside of the chimney and everything else. But the funny thing about this is in the new batch, they try and do it again, but she gets cut off.
No, because like
she never
everybody
gets to
was
finish
like,
the story.
we've already heard your story. Please stop.
You fucking psychotic
We
bitch.
have been in therapy since 1984.
No, actually, I don't believe it was about the Christmas story. It was actually a completely different story.
No, I'm just saying she has a sparkling personality. She needs to keep it shut.
She needs to get laid. That's what she needs.
Well, in the
She was
second
already
one,
getting laid in the second one.
one, they're like about to tie
I'm talking
the
about
knot.
the first one.
I know, but you're saying the
So
first
you're
one.
just encouraging her to be a whore.
You're saying she was saying the story again got cut off.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't the need for dick.
Well, no. I was going to say, you know what? Being the toking chick, I have severe daddy issues as an understatement. Maybe she has issues expressing herself in that way. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Most chicks that I've been with daddy issues don't go into a super fucked up thing when they want to get laid. No.
Don't you like
Don't
this
you
horrible
sit
story
there,
about my past?
Don't you sit there and act like crazy is not hot.
Crazy is hot.
This is
Yes.
borderline psychotic.
This is not crazy. This is fucking evil. All right? This bitch is gonna eat my fucking soul. All right. No.
Is it terrible that Buck Cherry just played in my head?
Yes.
No, so I'll be completely honest with you. I thought you were referencing the first little talk between her and what's his name?
Billy.
When he's walking her home.
Yeah.
And I thought he was talking about that because she goes, she got pretty heated about this. And then,
she was like
5 minutes later, oh, okay, cool. You want to go out sometime on Thursday? I'll take you out. And she's like, oh, yeah, sure.
Well, it's just so surreal how they literally try to make it wrap it in a cute little bow. She's like, yeah, it's a good thing we didn't start a fire. He would have just smelled like barbecue. And he's like, awesome, movie Thursday?
No, that was her entire character was wedged in there so fucking hard. I don't know where it came from.
I felt, except for when she was talking about the suicide rate.
Except for, Mom, what's happening to me?
This fucking story right here. I thought she was the typical, 1980s, chick that, for our hero to, be pining after.
Yeah.
Not even lusting after, just pining. Like he had
Yeah.
true emotional feelings for.
Yeah.
And I think she did well. I mean, when she was talking to him in the bank and everything seemed to flow really fucking well when she was bartending and shit like that.
Yeah,
And
no, I'm 90%
everything
sure
flowed
she has a
really
borderline
fucking well.
personality disorder. I'm
But
sorry. There's too much of a
Yeah,
disconnect.
fuck. There was shit that this stuff did not need to be in the fucking final movie. All right, it did not. They should have seen that in the fucking when they were doing the dailies. I'm like, yeah, why the fuck did we waste time filming this?
No,
the thing is almost like a 2-minute sequence too.
Yes,
it didn't make any sense.
It was a lot of writing. All right, we went dark. Now let's go light. Okay, let's talk about some of the absurdity in this film. That is amazing. And then, of course, we're going to precurse from that into the absurd characters themselves, the Gremlins. Okay?
Yes.
So that being said, how many oranges came out of that fucking juicer
about
in that
70 fucking 5.
That is the juiciest orange ever.
Yes.
Sorry, the Corey Feldman's character, when he walks in and he goes, hey, man, I just brought in your tree. What happened here?
I know.
Yes.
And it's just oozing orange
That's not the
slime
first
at that
thing you
point.
saw when you came into the kitchen. You're just like, hey, man, what's going on? Oh.
You're getting some kinky American Pie shit here, aren't you?
There's a lot of orange guts everywhere in that scene.
That was a lot of oranges for one orange.
It was, but apparently Chase has some insider knowledge as to why that was.
Supposedly, what happened is this was actually supposed to look like just one orange, but the prop department definitely overloaded the that prop, and they went with it. They loved it,
and rightfully so, honestly, because I'm picturing what the quantity of stuff that would spurt out from one fucking orange. It would have seemed fucking pathetic. It really would have.
Just this little.
Yeah. It'd have been a disappointing money shot.
I'm gonna.
Oh my god!
That's all you can do, man. Come on, really?
I'll never look at citrus the same way again.
This guy did not participate.
It's
in
full of vitamin C.
No. I think a very practical estimate, probably about 30 oranges.
It was a lot of oranges.
It
was everywhere.
You know what? It was orange carnage, is what it was. Christopher.
It was an orange bukkake.
Ew, gross.
Oh, so you just took it way out of the park.
Oh,
Again.
God.
PG.
No, not at all.
And that's why it's now the new PG-13. Orange bukkake. Ugh, you heard it here first, people. Yes. All right. Now, I know that our young resident up-and-coming Buck has a really big problem with the pool scene in this film. So, Chase, take it away.
Okay, so the pool scene. Stripe goes, I'm going to get some water. Bloop, goes in the water, tries to make more. And we see how many more?
At least the whole town worth.
Well, about 20, 30, 40 maybe.
All right, so let's rewind to the high school science teacher where he takes one drop.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
But
no.
I had something that it could have possibly been that they didn't do a good job of showing.
It doesn't matter.
No. So
they can do a bazillion oranges, but they can't do enough gremlins.
So it could have been. So you went. We were talking about earlier about how water equals 5. To them. All right. So
no. One drop equals 1. 1 drop equals 1.
Yeah, no, I never said that. I said in both films, Gizmo had 5 Mogwai spring from him, but neither one was like a percent, like a.
Yeah, you're right. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
There are approximately 75,708 drops of water in 1 gallon of in 1 gallon.
Ergo, they would have been a state of gremlins.
Not an Olympic pool size, but a standard high school pool size.
They would have been kept pouring out and pouring out and pouring out.
2.27 million fucking gremlins. Do you understand the magnitude of bullshit?
Actually, if you exponent that, because if they're in water when they spawn, wouldn't they then spawn themselves?
Now, maybe they have a maximum number they're able to physically produce.
No, I would account for it is actually using up 1 drop of water for the creation of each.
But maybe, or is it 1 drop of water triggers, maybe Gizmo or all of them are walking around with a certain number of demon eggs inside of them.
Because that means
that
demon eggs inside of their back?
Not in them, in their backs.
Women are born with a very specific number of eggs that will only decrease over time, correct? That you are born with all the eggs you will ever fucking have in your entire life.
I hate so much being the chick right now, but yes.
All right.
Technically.
So
these things were maybe
produced a situation with Mogwai. They are born or created with the maximum number of eggs that they can ever produce.
Or are they like male seahorses where they carry them around?
If that's the case, then you would still see an exponent procedure.
Yes.
And you'd still wind up with 2.27 fucking million gremlins.
A lot of gremlins.
Yeah, but maybe they can't immediately.
That's going to be Gremlins 3, the nation of gremlins.
Maybe they cannot. Maybe the new ones cannot immediately reproduce until they go through the pupil stage, as they kept calling it.
No, because Gizmo didn't go through the pupil stage.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but maybe the gremlins themselves until they've gone through.
I'm just saying, if we had an orange bukkake, we should have had
a lot more gremlins.
A gremlin bukkake?
Well, you remember that? All right, well, when you remember the new batch.
What they definitely did after that bar scene.
The mortified face that Sammy has right now is fucking phenomenal.
I'm sorry. That's one of those such cringy words. I'm like, blah.
All right, you remember the scene in the new batch when they kind of reproduced through the whole thing from the sprinkler system inside the kitchen. That sprinkler system kept going off, and all the gremlins were pouring out of there. So, I mean, how would you go with that one? Because that's basically being showered with water compared to being dipped in a pool.
So, actually, it probably produced less.
Yeah.
But still, holy fuck.
Well, I think overall, when it showed the gremlins, especially that little claymation scene where you just see them walking inside.
I love that scene.
They're like,
they're just walking
in the road.
It's so great.
Walking up the road, and you're like, what?
It looks like there's, and you can see some
nation of
hopping in the background and stuff like that going up and down. So
they're happy.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how much I dig the gremlin hop?
Yes.
I feel like it needs to be the new dance craze, the gremlin hop. Just 2 feet. And you can do it to any current Christmas sound.
It's easy to learn.
Right? So since, Ron, you've vaulted us into Gremlin Nation per Chase's logic, let's talk about our favorite Gremlins. And we are going to talk about not only the original Gremlins, but the new batch. So that being said, first we'll start with the amazing bar scene in Gremlins.
Yes.
I love this scene. You can see Stripe in all of his glory, straight out, and he's playing cards, and it's all.
And he had a whore on his side.
Yep. He's got his whore right there, exactly. It's Old West, and he's like, man, this guy's you. Kapow! And just shoots dead another gremlin, which I think honestly kind of ties into Chase's theory that if it's this, just they spawn and spawn and spawn, they really don't give a shit.
And you know that gremlin was
how
just
viable
dragged.
they are.
Yeah,
because the gremlin in the new batch was actually chemically turned into a female.
Yes.
This one was
was still a training gremlin.
That's the only thing I can't say. The fucking bar scene was amazing. That scene was just fucking hilarious and also completely out of place. Like, when you saw the whole movie, it seemed almost like horror-based. And then when it went to that scene, it showed a lot of their comedy.
I think they needed that.
That fit.
It did fit, but I just felt like it was completely different from the...
No, because, I mean, even when you're talking about the mom, fighting and stuff,
It's that perfect level of insanity and funny that, like, it works. Versus, like, the dark tirade. That was, like, so weird. And I think the fact that tirade happens, and then I think it actually cues to the bar scene. So I think it was that weird, like, immediate shift.
Can I cross something real quick on Joe Dante? It's not about the bar scene, but the whole thing about the second and first film that I have to say. It goes back to the whole thing about Rob Zombie's Halloween and also the thing about Tim Burton's Batman and Batman Returns. Joe Dante was the exact same way on this film, to the point where he had a lot of studio backing up the first one, where he didn't get to have as much of his control. And when they wanted him to do the sequel, he didn't want to do it. But then they said, well, if you want me to do it, I'm going to do it my way. Joe Dante originally wanted it to be more comic and more goofy and everything else. That's why the second one is so completely different from the first one. It's the same thing because he had more control of the second one. The first one's more of Steven Spielberg producing it and backing it up, making it more of
so you're talking about it was like one of the earlier cases of over-involvement of studio?
Yes, the first movie compared to the second movie. So there's a complete difference on the Gremlins, and to the point, but it also, there's a difference in also the effects done, because Rick Baker did the new batch, and the first one was done. Actually, I completely forgot who the.
They couldn't bring him back. I know that they wanted to bring the original guy back, and he was like, "No."
But then Rick Baker came in, and Rick Baker's an amazing. He's an amazing special effects artist, also. And
well,
stuff
I mean,
like
again, you have so much more personality with the second batch of Gremlins. Like, you really do.
But
you've got these derpy looking ones. You got like a hyperactive one.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
I just had to bring that up because
I feel like they have Stripe 2.0 in that one, because they have that gnarly, like, black gremlin, but yet they never call him Spike or Stripe in the second one.
Well, he didn't have much of a bigger role in the second one. He turned into the spider gremlin, from what I remember, I think.
Which is one of the gnarlier gremlins.
Yeah. That, to answer your original question, my favorite fucking of all gremlins.
The spider gremlin?
Spider gremlin.
Spider gremlin.
Yes, that motherfucker right there.
All right, well, Ron,
the intellectual one. Well, if we are we going for
cool,
are we going with both movies?
If you have to pick one gremlin, either film, what is your number one gremlin? We've got Spider Gremlin. Oh, crap.
I'm not gonna lie.
You like trainee gremlin, don't you?
No. I like the veggie gremlin, the one that was like
From
bourbon.
vegetables?
And he's just,
You like the veggie gremlin more than spider gremlin?
no. You know what? No, I'm cross that. The electric gremlin. That was hilarious, especially when it was trapped in the phone with the fucking music and it was going crazy. It was like going crazy hearing all that
That's
fucking.
still better than spider gremlin?
I did not care for Spider Gremlin. No,
What is wrong with you?
No, didn't care for that. But I
You
love
are a disappointment.
No, Electric Gremlin. Electric Gremlin was my favorite. Seriously,
I don't like my question now, because I'm torn. I'm torn because I love Stripe so much. I love the first version of Stripe so much. But I have to admit, the freaking Bat Gremlin was so cool looking.
Oh, I had the Batman symbol also.
I
leading
love
out.
that. That was just so campy and hilarious.
Turned into a gargoyle on the top of the skyscraper.
Which would make sense because it's lethal, being exposed to sunlight, so it became a gargoyle. It was such a cool character.
Well, no, that's the thing. That gremlin was also taking.
That's where gargoyles come from.
Took the chemical that made him sunblock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the sunblock one. He turned into that because he landed in the concrete. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, and then turned into a gargoyle from there. But he was able to go in the sunlight. He was the only gremlin that was actually able to go out in the sun. Because
he was the Blade of gremlins.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Good question, Sammy. Good question.
Exactly.
I want to know what Chase's is.
Your favorite gremlin?
Gizmo.
No.
That's a Mogwai. Stop confusing them.
Gizmo?
No,
They're always gremlins.
Okay, but you know what? That's the thing. Is Gizmo considered a gremlin?
No.
So they're a completely different species when they turn.
Yes.
No, I disagree.
Yes, because they go through the. Well, I guess
They're
not.
an evolved form.
They're post metamorphosis, so that would be the same as a caterpillar too of butterflies.
They're still the same species.
Those metamorphosis eggs look just like the alien eggs.
Right. I actually was going to ask you that, Ron. If that was H.H. Gregg or who's the guy that does all the xenomorph stuff?
H.H. Geiger.
Geiger. There it is. Yeah, because those definitely had some xenomorphiness to them. But Chase, go ahead.
But it fit with the.
I'm really curious. What is your favorite gremlin?
What's your favorite gremlin?
Stripe?
Yeah. Just because he was a fucking asshole.
Oh. Yeah, he was a badass. I love Stripe. Stripe is yum. I know. I love it. Again, Digo. It's so great. It's so great. So, Ron, you have some info for us. What is it?
Yeah, so I did a poll online on our Instagram to see which movie, Gremlins the New Batch or the original Gremlins, is considered the best movie out of the bunch. And 69%, number 69, went for Gremlins, and only 31% went for Gremlins 2. So a lot of people actually like the classic Gremlins better than the second one.
I agree.
Fuck yeah.
You know what? I'm one of the ones that voted for part 2 because I actually enjoy part 2 more than anything. I
just likes the tranny gremlin.
No. See, I'm torn here. I'm torn here because
that was his first wet dream.
All right.
You're a bastard.
Let it go, Stu. Jeez. No, see, I'm torn here because looking back, knowing that there was studio involvement, Gremlins, to me, honestly feels more like a Spielberg-ish type film. And again, and I think actually when we were researching, Gremlins was actually going to be a E.T. Part 2. That was their intention, actually, with Spielberg.
Whoa, what?
Yes.
Yeah, well, the original script said that it's also in the book, is that they were also supposed to be aliens.
Yeah. So basically, Spielberg and the studio were like, yeah, no, we want to make basically that Gremlins basically to be like the next generation ETs.
You're not doing this to me because E.T. is canon in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if this is supposed to be E.T. too.
No, I didn't say that. That is what we found out via the internet research.
Okay, I was not ready to commit Gremlins to Star Wars canon.
No.
Why not?
Why not? There's a lot of galaxies out there. There could be a...
That would be cool to see.
That's where the other 2.7 million gremlins was back to their planet.
That'd be fucking awesome.
I think they should have had an R2-D2 and a C-3PO in the inventor scene. It's just they're ringing in the fucking Lost in Space.
That would have been kind of fun because they normally do that. They do that in a lot of.
It should have been. That would have made.
They had literally Spielberg in that scene.
That would have made so much more. Like great little Easter egg.
But that being said, I do feel like Gremlins feels more Spielberg-esque, even to the theme that Gizmo sings. Reminds me a lot of the light.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
It has that same kind of like tonality.
So good.
And everything else. Versus Gremlins, the new batch, which to me feels more Joe Dante. It reminds me so much of the Burbs because of the campiness. And even like with their dark stuff, it's not even that dark.
I would say Small Soldiers too.
Small Soldiers, where you have these really, really dark moments, but they're funny.
Yeah.
Like the satanic scene in the Burbs is brilliant. I mean, the guy's standing up and he's like, who wants a blood milkshake? And it's so over the top and campy, but so funny.
Yes.
I feel like that's Gremlins' new batch versus Gremlins 2. So honestly, if you look at it from that point of view, I like them both. I think they're fun films.
Okay, which one do you like better?
Gun to my head, much like Spike does to that one Gremlin, I'm going to have to go with the original because I thought that Stripe was such a solid
No, wrong. It's just my opinion, you ass. I like the second one better.
Let's talk about that BS chainsaw versus a bleeping bat scene.
Okay, first of all, was that a wooden bat or was that a metal bat?
It was a wooden bat.
Why
and he has a freaking chainsaw.
Because that was a high-quality Louisville slugger.
I honest to God had to do a double take. I'm like, did he go after it with like a hedge clipper that just looked like a chainsaw? I could not for the life of me figure out why that was the ultimate freaking wood bat ever.
I don't know, but I thought there were sparks.
No.
It
you
was
see
probably
him even whittling down and taking out chunks.
It was probably a Peltzer chainsaw.
Oh God!
I didn't remember that attachment in the,
it's like
every
bathroom, fucking thing that he invents. It's a piece of goddamn,
especially the smokeless ashtray.
Yes.
That fucking, you see that fucking the guy at the gas station just fucking coughing a storm up while he was out there holding that thing, just smoking up and everything. Nothing he made worked. Although there were some inventions that he worked in his house.
The egg fucking cracker?
Oh my God, the eggs.
Jesus Christ, that would have fucked you up.
Yeah.
So many eggs lost.
But no, do you remember he was at the table going through his inventions while they were talking and he had this fucking drill with little fly swatters on it? And he just, what the fuck was that for?
So, every invention
that was an anti-stew preventer gun. That's what that was. Just a bunch of fly swatter.
Every invention that he had was already invented by other people and done it fucking better. We've seen automated fly swatters. We've seen electric fucking juicers.
How about the
wireless
shit coffee?
Phones.
Wireless fucking phones.
No, the shit coffee machine.
Yes. He was taking other people's ideas and like, how can I make this shittier? All right, I know what I'll do.
What was it? The playing card counter? That
yes.
Crapped itself?
Which at that time they already had fucking electric fucking dealers. All right. Everything he did, he couldn't come up with his own fucking shit, except for maybe the bathroom buddy, which we've all agreed is a giant fucking turd on arrival.
Also, the wireless phone. Remember the mom and the. See the thing, but the thing about the mom, Ms. Peltz, She was very supportive of
She
that.
was so supportive.
I love
my
her.
God.
Again, she was
an enabler.
I feel like as a wife and a woman, we have to sometimes because y'all are like need that.
Except for the fact that.
Oh my God, he's so stupid. It's okay, honey.
So
It's okay, babe. I don't care that
Ron-
we can't afford any more eggs.
Stop putting my name in the fucking bit.
I'm using this as the husband. I'm using it as the husband and wife. If Ron had spent years following his passion, and now you're about to lose your house, you're about to lose fucking everything. Your grown child is having to throw in money towards the fucking bills.
At some point, enough is enough.
When are you
my
going to
guy.
say no? Stop it. You're fucking going to cost us everything. No. You are a failure. You suck. Let's get fucking real jobs. We're done. I fucking enabled you for 20 plus fucking years. You suck.
Yeah, but
I
the thing
am done.
is, he had money because he bought the Mogwai. I mean, at the fucking China store, how much did he pay for him?
$100.
$100.
$200.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
200
yeah.
under the table.
Yeah, back in the 80s, that was a lot of money.
Exactly.
A lot of money.
And they're
Yeah.
still fucking struggling to pay goddamn bills of the house. They even address that he's having to, the grown son is having to fucking, chip in and,
No.
I don't know if that's
The whole idea is that Mr. Peltzer had his priorities fucked up.
Yes. And it was the wife's duty, to one, support the husband to a point, but when that husband's ambitions are costing you your home,
You know
costing
what?
you your children's lives.
It was a catalyst reaction, and here's why. That's how she leveled those gremlins. Just raging. I'm sick of this juicer.
These gremlins are great.
But-
They're very cathartic.
But if she wasn't enabling him, he would have never fucking brought home the Mogwai in the first place and would have never unleashed Armageddon on that fucking town.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with that.
Technically,
So it
Corey
is-
Feldman and Billy released it because they got Gizmo wet.
Oh, we haven't even talked about Corey Feldman.
Because Peltzer brought it home. In the first fucking place instead of where it was supposed to be, which he wouldn't have been there if he wasn't chasing some retarded fucking dream of his. All right, and if he would have been chasing his retarded dream,
buddy.
he would have been chasing his retarded dream if it wasn't for the wife's enabling. So you can make the argument that the
Why is it
entire
her
fucking death
freaking
toll
fault?
of this movie falls on Mrs. Peltzer.
That is such garbage.
All right.
No, I think I'm gonna have support you there. She should have slapped the shit out of it at some point.
Yes.
Just fucking.
Yes. All right. Kai
I
right
have
over.
no reaction. I'm sorry.
So Corey Feldman, like we talked about earlier, coming in with the orange juice thing. First off, the tree outfit. I fucking lost my shit. My fucking saw it.
What
It
are
made
you
me
wearing?
So
Don't
fucking happy.
ask.
But then the dad,
He was
when he's
such
still
the
wearing the tree
Charlie
outfit,
Brown of that
and he's telling him to go load
I
up a
got a
fucking
rock.
full-grown tree under this guy's fucking roof. And I'm just trying to imagine him manhandling this fucking full-size Christmas tree, in that suit that he was fucking wearing. I was like, Jesus Christ.
You know what? I'm going to spin off into the Dante verse as to why he became such like a gnarly kick-ass character in the Burbs. Because
Yes.
he was like, F that tree, and then like went totally rock and roll.
Yeah, and I fucking
That
loved
was
him. in
built up hatred. That's what that was.
Much like the Gremlin. that's what's going to trigger the
And we're
purge.
gonna go outside the Dante verse, and you got him and Lost Boys, being
Yes.
so fucking
yeah.
angry.
The Frog Brothers.
Yes,
Well, you know what? If we're going to do that, Bordello of Blood,
yes,
right?
yeah. But that was more of a little nod to the Lost Boys. That's
No,
what,
but I love it. That's what ended up happening when they got
Well,
caught.
the thing about his role in this was very short. It really wasn't that big.
Yeah.
He was a caller on the radio station. Remember that whole radio station scene?
Yeah.
That was him calling
Yeah,
in.
it was.
But also the other scene where you see him cutting the fucking Christmas light with the gremlin hanging from it and everything else. But he didn't really have that much in it.
It's because it was super early.
And really, it was
in
his
Corey
fault.
Feldman.
It was his fault that the gremlins came upon.
No,
he's
no.
the one that knocked
Mrs.
over
Peltzer.
little... Huh?
Mrs. Peltzer. It was her fault.
No, it wasn't.
I was... What?
We just had that argument.
No, he
It
was
was Mrs.
No,
Peltzer's
that was
fault.
just
fault.
Stu yelling a bunch and Chase sadly agreeing
Oh,
with
God.
him.
Okay.
Because
well-
I was right.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Moving on.
And
I'm with
today's
Ron.
lowered standards,
No,
50% is
I'm with
passing.
Ron, and I think Ron and Billy. You're such an idiot.
Dude, I actually just had this conversation with one of the guys at work.
See? One thing I definitely wanted to touch on is the brutal insanity of the dad once he figured out that they could reproduce the Mogwais.
The Peltzer pet.
This could replace the dog.
Yes. The fact that Gizmo had to suffer such immense pain, and you saw him suffering. I was like, damn, that's fucked up. That's so much fucking pain on Gizmo in a children's movie. Quote,
yeah, but what I'm also thinking about is the fact that if kids start getting all these Mogwais, and you know that they're going to get wet by accident, that there's going to be gremlins all over the fucking earth. It's going to be a fucking takeover.
It reminded me a lot of
the Furby,
the Trouble with Tribbles.
Oh my God! From Star Trek,
yes. It would have led to that situation.
Exactly. No, you're right. No, but it's even funnier because then it turns into the Gremlins, and then it gets really, really fucking.
But
crazy.
they didn't know about the Gremlins at that point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So,
all right.
But the fact that he would have to force breed, Mogwais and forcibly.
Why, as
you know
a
what?
male,
No, I gotta bring this up.
You don't have to bear anything as a dude.
You know
don't
what?
Give birth.
I gotta bring this up.
Kidney stones,
the little boy gave the rules.
King who for you?
The little boy gave the rules to Mr. Peltzer and about the whole ordeal about not.
And Peltzer gave them to Billy.
But the little boy might not have known the.
But that's the thing. Did the boy know? That's what I was curious about because he knew about the rules, but he didn't know about the consequences of what happens. But I'm sure the old man did.
Yeah, and that's why he fucking.
So I'm
didn't
sure
want to
that
sell
this
it.
has happened in the past before. They should make a prequel movie of this happening in like old time China. That would be hilarious.
Holy shit! I would watch the fuck out of that. Actually.
Okay. Am I the only one, honestly, in that whole scene when I honestly, for a brief moment, thought that the old Chinese man was totally the one from Hellraiser? He's like the one that's got the creepy voice. Like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that the dude from Hellraiser?
All right, let's talk about real quick. You were talking about when he comes down and he's talking about how the Mogwai could replace the dog.
Yes.
You know what other movie that dog played?
No.
The dog's name is Mushroom. He played in Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, that's right.
Holy crap,
That
that's
was
cool.
him.
Yeah.
That was him.
That's cool. That is cool.
That's one of Sammy's favorite movies right there.
I love Pumpkinhead. Oh, that is a pick for 2022.
Yeah, I remember you said you wanted to do that next Halloween. So
quick interjection. That's all. Continue.
No, that works. No, that's the fact that of the immense pain and suffering he wanted to cause for him. One of his inventions, even though it's not an invention,
it obviously hurts them. Like
and not just like a little bit. Like
I know because Gizmo looked like he was in fucking pain. Like
because he's giving birth.
Yes.
But I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you know what? It didn't look as painful. It didn't look as painful.
Than designer pets are now.
Okay, but
except for humans, no
I'm
other.
talking about other animals. That's how you get puppy mills and shit.
I understand that, but except for humans, none of these other animals show the amount of pain that fucking Mogwai went through. Doesn't show it.
Yeah, but it's not. But the thing is, it's not.
Become gremlins. That's the difference.
But you know what the funny thing is? It's not as grotesque because you just see little puffballs coming out of his back. But when you see, especially in the new batch, that one shows it even worse. When you see the gremlins get into the rain, and then you see that it shows a video going right to their back, and you see little fucking sacks on the back of there, and you can see little baby gremlins just coming out and everything else. That was fucking crazy right there. It didn't show that in the first one. It showed that in the new batch.
But talking about the rain is probably why they couldn't effectively do like an old China one because what are you going to? There's some weird, woodland creature that that ran around China or something like that. So if they're outside all the fucking time, they're going to get wet. So there would have been a major gremlin problem throughout all fucking time.
Are these from the forest planet the Ewoks are?
They're the demented cousins.
I can tell you one thing.
That's how
I can tell you one thing. You better not have a Mogwai.
And that's how it's going to end up in Star Wars.
Which goes,
that's going to do it.
And then it goes to the fact that they talked about the gremlins eating people.
So instead of
they wanted
Endor,
to
it's
show
Gremdor.
them eating people and stuff like that, which we know Ewoks had to have ate fucking people. So
they were cannibals, but also the whole deal. If this
but they
thing
were so cute and cuddly.
But they also had a conveniently large number of clothes to fit people just hanging around.
I already have a sequel idea taking place in Seattle, Washington, where it rains constantly.
It doesn't have any more of an average rainfall than a lot of other places. That's just a misconception.
Really?
Yeah.
If you put it in the rainforest,
what about the fog?
That's another thing. What point?
At what concentration does it cause multiplication?
Yes. Then if you're doing the fog, then fuck it. Let's go to London.
It's fine.
That's just dissecting it like even harder right there.
It's not enough.
Seriously, it's a fucking movie. It's dissecting fog.
It's rules that don't make sense.
It doesn't. It's plot holes.
No.
You know what? They make sense on Grendor. They make sense on Grendor.
No, again, I think there would be a defined point because fog is still technically a gas.
Okay,
liquid.
but if you're getting that defined, then how come regular tap water, which is what originally triggered Gizmo to do it, based coming out of that little fucking pencil, that little paintbrush thing, which is treated with chemicals, is no longer pure fucking water.
Had chemicals in it, not.
Yes, it's treated with fucking chemicals, so it's no longer pure fucking water.
But there was water in it.
There's water in fucking fog. All right.
Condensation.
There's water in the beers that I fucking drink.
Yeah.
All right. Can I spill a beer and make him fucking goddamn replicate?
Then you get a bunch of drunk Mogwais.
Fucking amazing.
You see them come out. They're all those derpy ones from the new batch.
Which would be amazing.
All right. So since we're going down this and we're having a good time, I do want to talk about some of the fun with the practical effects of this film.
Yes.
All right. There's one thing about the 80s. They've made documentaries about it. It is the practical effects. And honestly, no amount of CGI, no amount of any of that.
The puppetry in this was amazing.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
The claymation even. Like, I was watching back with it, and the tiny humans that I was watching it with were like, oh, that looks fake. And I'm like, you have no idea. That's amazing. And it really is.
Yeah.
Because, again, although I do have to admit real quick, because I just realized with your ridiculous tyrants about water vapor versus this, at what point, the moment that it becomes a droplet, that's the problem, okay? If his theory with one drop for each spawn, then that would be your
But then
point.
once again, if you're going into the
That'd be
pool,
the
it's
dew
treated
point.
with chemicals. If you're going into the pool,
Oh,
it's treated
Lord.
with
Anyways, we're going to get back on track. That being said, the bell's been rung. Anyways, one of the cool things about Joe Dante we mentioned on earlier, and you listed it, Ron, was he did the howling, which gave birth to the bubble effect.
Yes.
Which, honestly, was another thing. Much like Gremlins, helped find PG-13. The bubble effect is now so used in everything. It was such cutting edge technology. Yeah. And I mean, it's so cool. So anyways, let's go into that. Ron, let's talk about some of your favorite practical effects.
My favorite practical effect is basically fucking Spike. Well, you know what? The puppetry effects of the Gremlins was great because you didn't ever see the fucking wires. You didn't see anything. It looked perfect, and I loved the facial expressions. They got better in Small Batch because Rick Baker did it, and it was completely different. New Batch.
You're just plugging our episodes. It's fine.
Yeah, sorry, had to. Basically, the fucking practical effects. I'd say my favorite one is the death scene of Spike. I mean, seriously, that fucking scene.
It is so cool.
The thing is fucking
most amazing of all the.
And I love the white eyes, especially.
All of it. He's like melting. It's amazing. And what's so surreal is even then he's like, water. Like he is still trying to be like, I'm going to annihilate you as he's melting for his cause, which is also just that much more badass.
And when he melts, and then you just see the dog going over, and you just see that bubble going up and down and breathing.
I know. Yeah. Which again reminded me of Hellraiser.
Yes.
It really did.
Yeah. So as we're talking about the end of Gremlins, I'd like to bring to the awareness that Gremlins 3 is listed as in production.
Yeah, I know. And I swear to God, if it's CGI, if it's just a CGI fest, I'm
in production.
I don't know, but Chris Columbus and Chris Columbus and Carl Ellsworth are listed as.
All right, this is how it happens. This is how Grimdar's going to happen because it's going to be in bleeping space. Because that's what they always do to 80s movies. Somehow they end up in space at some point.
Yeah, as long as they don't. But if it's just a full. If it's just a full CGI fest, it's gonna suck.
No, I have the belief that
they have to go practical effects. I really hope so.
There is gonna be a lot of CGI, obviously. Yeah, but no, it's gonna be a lot of.
Because they're going to have a lot more wiggle room to be able to make the things like walk around. You're not seeing it. But there's scenes in.
Unless they build little fucking robots, would be fucking amazing.
That'd be amazing.
Well, they did that for Small Soldiers.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Small Soldiers was kind of practical effects and CGI mixed in, and it wasn't that bad.
That's how Skynet's going to happen.
But Joe Dante is really well known for using
Skynet
stuff
run by
like
Mogwais.
It'd be adorable.
I'm fucking going for it.
It'd be adorable.
All right, like, you got it. Take it. You win.
Instead of AI, it's Mogwai.
Exactly. Yeah. There'll be nothing but gizmos and fucking Baby Yodas walking around.
Sammy, what?
I'm for it.
Sammy, what is your favorite practical effect?
Well, I mean, I've obviously touched on the bubble effect because for me, again, I loved The Howling. I love American Werewolf in London, where again, super duper used to help with those unique, real transformation scenes for werewolves because I am a lycanthrope enthusiast.
Lycanthrope.
Thank you, lycanthrope. Sorry, words are hard. But no, I've always I love werewolves. You know this. It's one of my favorite classic genres, mythology, whatever you want to call it. So for me, it's got to be that because it became such a pivotal and necessary and monumental thing for that type of transformation.
How about you, Stu?
Okay, as much as I love the Gremlins, honestly, the range of characteristics they were able to give the different Mogwai before they fucking changed blew me away. Because you're taking something that is a very simple, a little furry fucking creature with big fucking ears.
And giving so much personality.
Exactly. And not just for Gizmo, even, Spike, pre-transformation, and all the other little fucking hellions, pre-transformation.
I do love that they're like playing a little arcade game. And they're like, the one with the stripe seems to be their leader. And Spike's like, guy.
Yes.
So great.
And just the fact of how much personality they were able to exude in these little fucking puppets. It just fucking blew me away.
How about you, Chase?
I'm kind of with Stu on this. The expression that they were able to give the Mogwai, or especially Gizmo, with the animatronics or the puppeteering that they did was absolutely incredible.
No, I agree.
Especially for that era, it blew me away. Yeah. I was not expecting that at all.
Well, especially because by today's standards, you'd have to do the stop caption or whatever it is.
Mocap.
Thank you. That stuff.
I have actually a good question for all you guys. What is your favorite scene in the movie? Sorry. Here's a question I have is what's your favorite scene? But I'm going to tell you mine. I love the fucking theater scene when they're singing hi ho,
hi ho, hi ho.
Hi ho. And you just see him in the full audience and they're fucking loving the movie. That scene cracked me up. I thought that was hilarious. What was yours, Sammy?
That is, it is an awesome scene. And I even love how they end up like it burns out, the camera burns out, and like then you see them coming at the screen.
And they get all pissed off.
And you see them coming at the screen. And
that's all
it's
animation
really cool.
right there,
I know,
too.
it's impressive.
Yeah.
For me, though, favorite scene is got to be Stripe again, straight up tombstoning that one gremlin while he's playing cards. Because again, it just showed how much of a badass he was. He was the apex predator of the apex predators.
Yeah.
Which I just thought was fantastic.
How about you, Stu?
Mine would probably be the scene where they're showing all the gremlins going throughout the town doing little fucking asshole fucking things.
Basic gremlin mayhem.
Oh, yeah, when he's like fucking with the traffic light.
Yeah, the traffic light.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Showing
the mailbox.
Everything was just so fucking perfect, because you have these gremlins and they've always been associated with being little technological fucking assholes and shit like that. And just leaning into that so fucking hard in so many different amazing ways. Like this is just it's each one's getting just a minute or two, not even a minute or two, but 10-20 seconds of screen time of showing them doing something, and how much havoc and chaos they're causing throughout the entire fucking town. I loved it.
How about you, Chase?
For me, it's a tie between when the Miss Peltzer comes in and starts fucking shit up, or the bar scene, because at the bar scene it becomes very apparent to me that it's just a bunch of pissed off Scotsmen.
That's a good one. That's good.
No, I loved it because throughout the whole rest of the movie, they're talked about, like he said, screwing with all the technology, but here it's just getting fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just getting shitty. They're getting lit.
See that fucking one breakdancing in the middle of the fucking room.
Oh, and I love that it was like dressed in Flashdance garb.
Yes.
It was so great. It even does like the motion. I was like, yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, and then you've gotta love in that scene the what is it, the one that like flashes his shit, the flasher one.
Yes.
Just turns around like she's like trying to like not be mauled while serving them drinks.
Oh, come on.
By the way, why didn't she just effing be done? Like she's like sitting there like trying to pour and light cigarettes.
Because
Don't forget, Stripe had a gun. All right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, I know, but like, I don't know. It cracked me up.
The other part of that bar scene was that fucking little one that's like all depressed with the fucking cigarette and doing all the blues in the background. Then you see that little one with a little puppet. It's just, what the fuck?
And how do they all know, references? How do they understand all the Flashdance reference? The blues singer, blues jazz, one. How do they instinctively know? Because I know they hadn't been around long enough to.
Maybe it's an instinct. I don't know.
I was going to say
they're
maybe
not making the
adaptability.
references. They're just recreating their own.
Oh, okay.
They're recreating
all
their
this
own
is born
pop
organically.
Culture. Yeah,
oh,
we're just getting
either
to
that
see
or
this
they had a
and
lot of
making our own
interns
references.
that like really effed up and like that guy gets to be that gremlin. That kid's a dick. All right, guys. So, anyways, obviously, we love this film. It's a hilarious film. It's a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and round table and give our pint reviews. So being the only lady, I'll go at the end, plus it was mine, and I'll kick it off to you, Ron. What do you give this one as far as pints?
I give this movie a 3.5. That's what I would give it, a 3.5. Because I'd give the second one a higher rating with 3.5 pints for this one. It's a fun film. It's good. It's fun to watch around Christmas. I mean, it takes place during Christmas. There's Christmas themes in it, but it's just a fun movie, and it's I feel like it's a / horror comedy. That's how I feel it is. It's horror comedy, but more comedy.
Horror-comedy?
I don't even know if that's a word, is it?
It now needs to be one. Horror-comedy!
No,
there's too many
there's
whores.
already horror comedies.
Yeah, there's a lot of whores in Hollywood. There are a lot of them.
I give this a 3.5. That's what I give it. It's a fun one. It's very iconic. It's actually it's a staple in 80s culture and everything else. It's a great movie, Gizmo and Spike and all that. So how about you, Chase?
I was going to go with the 3.5 as well. It's a fantastic movie to recommend. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's not so captivating that you can't have it on during a party and be completely brokenhearted that you missed a spot of it, but it's just a blast to watch.
Right on.
I like it.
How about you, Stu?
Super strong 4.
Oh, wow.
Super strong 4.
Really?
Yes, it perfectly encapsulates that early 80s feel.
Yeah.
It does the practical effects so goddamn well. The score was amazing.
Yes.
The acting, for the most part, was pretty good for what the characters were supposed to be.
Yeah.
The dialogue was, except for a weird fucking scene with that crazy bitch. And even the dialogue for that story, for her telling the story, was fucking really fucking good. Just
out of place. It was just so out of fucking place.
Yeah. And that is actually going to affect my pints when you're done, Stu.
All right. So, I mean, because overall, there wasn't a lot of unneeded stuff in this. There wasn't a lot of, filler material.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a really strong 4.
Okay.
All right. So again, you know me, I love doing hybrid pint reviews. So I'm going to go, I wanted to do a 4, I honestly did, but I'm going to go with a 3.75 pints. And the reason why,
very specific.
Because, okay, if anybody listens to this podcast, I love strong female characters. I loved Mrs. Peltzer. Screw you, Stu. She wasn't the reason why the apocalypse happened. Let it go.
Yes, she was.
That's men not being able to follow simple fucking instructions. 3 steps. 3 steps at a 19-year-old
We've already established Peltzer was retarded.
Moving on. I don't want to hear the bell. Hey, this is my pint review. Shut your face.
You're the one who brought me into it.
Anyways, I'm going to go with 3.75 because for me, it had all of the things you literally just listed because, we actually do get along despite our shtick on the air. But for me, that chick, freaking Phoebe Cates, ruined the movie for me. She really did. If she didn't have that bullshit line and her stupid little monologue, it ruined it for me because it breaks the movie realm and the fantasy of it so much.
Absolutely.
It does go from comedy to serious and then back. It is weird.
Yeah.
But I'm taking.
It's completely
I
unwarranted.
agree that because of that scene, it does warrant a taking down.
It does.
But in my opinion, if it didn't have that scene and it didn't have just a couple other lines here and there, it would have been probably a 4.25, 4.5.
Okay, so on your scale, that's fine. So for me, it knocked it back that 0.25 pints because. And the killer thing is Billy actually does a really good job. And the only reason Billy got that job was because of the chemistry with Phoebe Cates.
Yes.
And then she SHIT'd the bed so bad.
Yeah.
So that for me just knocks it down that 0.25, not quite a 4, 3.75 solid. If you have not seen it, literally go out and watch it because it is fantastic.
Throwing something in to go back to the Judge Reinhold conversation.
Oh, dear Lord.
Just because it just popped in my head. 1, you saying Billy, and then 2, me looking at this Demon Knight poster. It made me think of who Judge Reinhold, the equivalent would be somewhere later
Billy
on.
Zane.
Billy Zane.
Oh, that's a solid jump.
Billy Zane.
That is a good one, right?
Yes.
That's a solid jump.
All right, I will say.
All right, I will allow that tangent because that is a solid jump.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, BAF listeners, for our episode on Gremlins. And remember, so if your air conditioner goes on the fritz, or your washing machine blows up, or your video recorder conks out, before you call the repairman, turn on all the lights, check all the closets and cupboards, look under all the beds, because you never can tell. There just might be a gremlin in your house.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to our podcast, Barrel Age Flicks. We are so excited for the upcoming episodes headed your way and bonus episodes of The Small Batch, Sammy Selects, and now the new Tasting Room. If you like our show, please spread the word, give us a like, or leave us some kind of review on any of the social media pages. Give us a follow on Instagram, Barrel Flicks, or Facebook, Barrel Age Flicks. Our podcast is available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor, Radio Public, Audible, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, and now Pandora. Please shoot us an email at barrelageflicks@gmail.com with comments and movie suggestions for future shows or any other things you'd like to let us know. Credit to Carl Casey at White Bat Audio on YouTube. Man, your music is awesome. We thank you so much for that. It's great. You guys go ahead and check him out. I just want to say thank you so much. We hope to see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening. See you then.